Today, we're going to talk about perfect squares and square roots, mainly looking at estimating square roots. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to do this. Let's jump right in. Let's take a look at the first, 12 numbers maybe, and find their squares. So the way we do that is we multiply a number by itself. The way it looks is kind of like this. If I want to know what the number 1 squared is, I would write the little 2 above it. That might be really small, but that's kind of on purpose. Put it really small. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. Follow along if you know the answers. Okay. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. All I'm doing is I'm multiplying the number by itself. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared, 36. 7 squared, my favorite, 49. 8 squared is 64. Does anyone know what 9 squared is? 9 squared, 81. 10 squared is 100. Okay, we keep going. 11, 121, 12, 144, so on, so forth. Okay. There's some really cool patterns that are going on in here, but we're not going to look at them just yet. Let's just take a minute and observe these numbers. Okay. Well, these are the numbers we're going to be working with today. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, and 100. Okay. Memorizing these numbers is a great idea. I almost never tell my students to memorize anything, right? We can always work it out. Knowing these numbers, being very close to them, is going to be really helpful. So, these 10 numbers will come in handy. Okay. So, we can square. That's going one way. Right? Making the numbers bigger, we're squaring them, we're turning them into square. But if we want to know what the square root is, right, we want to know what made that number in the first place, we do something called square root. And it looks like this. I want to know the square root of 81. I would say, what is the square root of 81? I use this symbol here. It looks like the division symbol, but it's not. It's called a radical. Radical. All right. So, there's no real way to do this in your head. Okay? Doing this operation requires a calculator or having memorized these numbers. Okay? But we're going to use these numbers today, okay? And see if we can figure out different square roots. If a number is between these, something strange happens and we get what's called an irrational number. The first one being the square root of 2. The square root of 2, you would think has an answer, but it does not. It is irrational. Okay, that means it's a number that has no end, cannot be turned into a fraction. Okay? It's irrational. But we can be close. We can try. So I'm going to give us some examples of numbers that are between these, and let's see if we can kind of narrow it down. I have my trusty calculator here as well. We're going to test our answers against it. Okay, so let's start easy. I'm going to keep these numbers here. I'm going to do the work on this. I'm going to start with the square root of 8. Square root of 8. So now I have to think 8 is between what two numbers on this list here? It's between 4 and 9. So I can say, I can draw a quick little number line. The square root of 4 is on this side. The square root of 9 is on this side. The whole number equated with square root of 4 is 2, so I can call this 2. And this is 3. The square root of 8 is going to be a number between 2 and 3. It's irrational, but we're going to see how close we can get to it. Square root of 8, is that number closer to 4 or to 9? It's close to 9. It's really close to 9. It's practically right there. So if this is a number line, and this would be 2.5 in the middle, it's going to be something greater, like 2. I don't know, I'm going to say 8. 2 point. You can say 2.9, 2.7, something like that. Let's test it. Square root of 8 is 2.82. Boom. Bam. Fantastic. Let's try one more. Square root of 19 this time. Square root of 19. So draw a little number line. And what's going to be on either side here? We look at our numbers. 19 is between which two? Is it greater than 9? Yeah, it's greater than 9. Is it greater than 16? Yeah. Is it greater than 25? No. Oh, it's got to be between 16 and 25. So I'm going to write that. Square root of 16. Square root of 25. What is the square root of 16? That's just 4. Square root of 25 is 5. So we know 19, the square root of 19 is a number between 4 and 5. Look at that. So, is it closer to 16 or to 25? I think it's closer to 16. It's only 3 away from 16, but it's 6 away from 25. So it's definitely closer to here. So I'm going to say 4.3, right? That's my guess. Okay. But we know that's a lot better than just 4 or 5 or somewhere between, right? We're making a educated guess. We're estimating. So let's check the calculator. Square root of 19, and that's 4.35. I could have rounded up to 3.4. I'm happy with 4.4, but I'm happy with 4.3. Okay. How about this one? The square root of 52. Oof. Okay. 52. Where's 52? On my list here, 52 is going to be between which two numbers? You might notice as the squares get bigger, the distance between them also increases, okay? So when the numbers get bigger, right, we have to be a little bit more careful with our estimations. Okay. 52, aha, it's right after 49 and before 64. So if I draw my number line, square root of 49, square root of 64. Again, right? Knowing these numbers is going to be super helpful, but always write them down. Always write them down if you don't remember, okay? Square root of 49, 7. And this is 8. So we know it's between 7 and 8. 52, is that closer to 49 or to 64? Yeah, it's closer to 49. It's pretty close. I'm going to say it's like there. I'm going to say it's like 7.2. Let's find out. Square root of 52. 7.211. Boom! Got it. I swear I don't have these memorized. Okay, that would be crazy. Only a crazy person would have these memorized. All right, I'm just using them. It's pretty cool. All right, let's do one more. This one's going to be the square root of 79. First step, draw your number line. 79 is between 64 and 81. Perfect, right? 70s is between 60 and 80, so we can just go like that. So we got the square root of 64 here, square root of 81 here. That's 8 and 9. Remember, those are the same number, just written differently. So 79 is going to be between 8 and 9. Is it closer to 64 or 81? It's really close to 81. It's only 2 away. So I'm going to say it's like that, and I'm going to call it 8.9. Let's see what happens on the trusty calculator. Square root of 79 is 8.88. I'd say that's pretty darn close. This is how you estimate square roots using a number line. You can do this for any square. All right. Stay smart. Stay safe. See you next time. Bye!